This is a review for the Eufy RoboVac L70 Hybrid. The L70's airflow was measured at 19 CFM. Its suction was measured at 0.32 kPa. In our carpet stress test, the L70 picked up all debris types very well. The L70 has a slightly wider direct cleaning path than most other Eufys on the market, as its bristle compartment is 6.5 inches wide versus 5.5 inches for most other Eufys. And so it picks up more debris directly on a single pass. But just like those other smaller Eufys, it still relies on its side brush to help pull debris into its direct cleaning path, and it still relies on repeated movement over the same areas to clean up well in this test over time. In our carpet deep clean test, the L70 picked up 5 grams of debris after 3 passes over an area of carpet embedded with 30 grams of fine debris. In our hard floor stress test, the L70 once again picked up all debris types very well. Here again, the robot uses its side brush to help pull debris into its direct cleaning path and uses repeat movement over the same areas to clean up properly in this test over time. The L70 also performed quite well cleaning edges. It moves parallel and close to the edge as part of its regular cleaning cycle, and during this movement it does very well pulling debris away from the edge and into its direct cleaning path. In our robot vacuum crevice test, the L70 did not perform well on default power or on maximum power. Even after extensive runtime, it still could not pull most of the debris out of the crevice used for this test on either power setting. In our human hair pickup test, the L70 picked up all the hair, but most of that hair wasn't pulled into its dustbin. 70 to 90% of the hair it picked up tangled around its brush roll and had to be cleaned off manually. In our pet hair pickup test, the L70 performed much better. It picked up and collected all of the shorter pet hair used for this test in its dustbin. The L70 does come with a mopping attachment, and so we tested how well it could mop. It took 7 minutes for the L70 to get a thorough cleaning of the test surface used for our mopping test. For comparison, most other mopping robot vacuums we tested took only 2 minutes to get a thorough cleaning in the same test. We tested this LiDAR robot's cleaning efficiency and coverage in 2 different environments, an empty room and a cluttered room. In our empty room testing, we see row-by-row cleaning as expected for a LiDAR robot vacuum. We also see good redundancy as the robot first cleans in vertical rows and then cleans in horizontal rows. So far, so good. However, at the end of the test, the L70 passed repeatedly towards the left side of the room. This is not standard behavior for a LiDAR robot in this testing environment. So we ran the test again to see if it would repeat this same behavior. And unfortunately, it did. In the second trial, we again see it first cleaning in vertical rows. However, before it switches to cleaning in horizontal rows, it instead again passed towards the left side of the room. It eventually cleans in horizontal rows, but afterwards, it again passed towards the left side of the room, repeating movement in this area once again. This is a very strange pathing and efficiency that we didn't see with any other LiDAR robot vacuum we tested in this exact same environment. In our clutter room testing, we again see pathing inefficiencies. About 4 minutes into this first trial, the robot again repeats movement over a small area of the room unnecessarily for several minutes. It eventually snaps out of this pathing and cleans the rest of the room. However, at the end of the test, it again repeats movement unnecessarily over the bottom side of the room. This time it's over a larger area, but it's notable nonetheless. In the second trial, we have even more issues with the robot's pathing. First, it pushes the chair quite a bit as it paths around it. This is definitely unexpected behavior for a LiDAR robot vacuum. Most other LiDAR robots we tested did not push the chair around as they cleaned around it. Second, the L70 pushes the rectangular container near the top side of the room. This is once again unexpected behavior for a LiDAR robot vacuum. Most other such robots did not have any trouble navigating around the same obstacle in the same environment. Finally, we again see unnecessary redundancy over the full duration of the cleaning cycle, this time over the whole room. The Eufy cleaned this room for close to 26 minutes before returning to its dock. For comparison, most other LiDAR robots we tested cleaned the same room with good redundancy in about 12 to 14 minutes. Other important specifications and test results we considered for this review are summarized here. Note especially that this is a mapping robot, and using the Eufy companion app, you can set the robot to clean specific parts of the map, or set it to stay out of certain parts of the map. But you can't label, divide, or merge rooms, or set the robot to clean specific rooms in a specific order like you can with most other mapping robots on the market. In the same chart, also note the L70's runtime, bin volume, and noise output, and how those specifications and test results compare to the average for all of the robot vacuums we've tested so far. Lastly, note the robot's diameter and height. These dimensions make the L70 one of the largest robot vacuums we've tested so far. Moving on to what we like and dislike about this vacuum, first let's talk about what we like. It picks up debris on both carpet and hard floors very well. It also cleans edges very well. It has a good sized dustbin, and it runs very quietly on default power. It's also usually one of the cheapest LiDAR robot vacuums on the market. Moving on to what we dislike about the L70, it doesn't mop as well as most other mopping robot vacuums we tested. It also doesn't navigate very efficiently for a LiDAR robot vacuum. It repeats movement much more than it needs to in a single cleaning cycle. Sometimes it repeats movement over a small area of the room, and sometimes it does so over the entire room. It also bumped into certain obstacles in our clutter room testing much more than most other LiDAR robot vacuums we tested. Finally, the app that you use to control this robot is much more limited than we would like for a LiDAR robot vacuum, even at its usually cheaper price point. In terms of general recommendations, the L70 Hybrid is generally not recommended. We can look past its lackluster mopping and even its limited app functionality. However, we cannot look past its navigational issues, and it's because of these issues that we generally do not recommend it. See the description of this video for a link to the latest updated list of all of the robot vacuums we do recommend, and thank you for watching.